first session of the Rage of Demons campaign, and welcome! We are one person short at the moment, by the looks. Someone's grabbed Durvan already. So, we are one person short, but that's fine. They can join in at a later time. They should have been here by now, but they're not. And we're going to kick off without them.
Can we kill them for XP, or?
Nope, but you will get an extra, 25% XP because they're not here? Something like that? 20 XP? I don't know. 25%, I should say, not just 25. Okay. Where do we begin? We begin in a place called Hillsfar. I will throw a map at your faces. Just 1 second.
Wait, should we have a smoke first?
We should not have a smoke first.
Oh, okay.
Quit smoking. It's a horrible habit.
Yes.
You know, I hear that so many times and it just makes me want to smoke more.
You're very easily swayed, I guess. The wrong way.
Rebellious.
Ah, crap. Push the wrong button.
Guys, I think we lost someone.
Push the right button, just gone.
Alright, let's try and find a map. I did have one. Is it even on there? It's not. Okay, there's no map. I'm sorry. So you're in the sleepy town of Hillsfar, which is in the upper east side of the Sword Coast. It's a little more eastern than the map shows, so I'm not even going to bother showing you the map. But it's a lazy little town. It's bordered on one side by the Moon Sea, and it's got a bit of backstory. It's seen its share of sort of warfare and turmoil and intercity combat, I guess. And more recently, the people of Hillsfar have been upset and have begun to basically segregate non-human races and people from the town. It has upheaved quite a few different people, quite a few families. The town has become completely off limits, rampant xenophobia due to fear and outrage of all the fighting that's been going on. Has resulted in the outskirts and the lands around Hillsfar becoming littered with the refugees, the non-human refugees who have lost homes, work, businesses, family. Some of the refugees were killed when they didn't go quietly, so it's left a lot of people, a lot of families without parents, or a lot of children without parents, I should say. And it's becoming a big boiling pot of ill will as refugees plot against the authorities that have basically been shit. They've been assholes to everyone not human, and it's stepping on a lot of toes. The four of you have all come from other parts of the Sword Coast. Where you are from is completely up to you in your backstory, but everyone is here for the same reason, and that is to capitalize on mercenary work, or help those in need, or here for some reason due to this turmoil. So it's up to you to decide why you're here, but the main reason is that the four of you are here together and arriving in this area at the same time in the same caravan. So that's where our beginnings of this story start. It's a caravan on its way into Hillsfar. There's the four of you, and there is two traders who run and operate a trading cart, and you are traveling with them. You're not bodyguards or anything. You're just traveling together for the mutual benefit of traveling to Hillsfar.
Would it be fair to say that in this travelling time together we've become acquainted with one another?
You might have been. You've only been on the road for about 2 days at the moment. You're not coming from far, or at least you haven't come from far together. So you might know each other's names. You might be sharing adventures, stories of your adventures, I should say, and small talk. But you haven't had an adventure together that has forged any bond beyond meeting on a caravan.
Cool beans.
Alrighty, so let's just bring up where you are. So as you're on this caravan and you're talking to these two traders, they're telling you about some vague and bizarre rumors that they've heard that the reason that they're coming here, the rumors range from leprechauns showering travelers with gold to undead armies terrorizing the Hillsfar farmsteads all around. And perhaps the wildest rumor they mentioned, that you know to be true, is that all the non-human citizens within the walls of the city-state of Hillsfar were evicted. Sounds outrageous, but it's what you've heard, so it must be true. Laying on hands. And the only non-humans left in the city are slaves who are forced to fight to death in the arena. And it's not likely that anyone who's not a human will be able to get into the Hillsfar gate. And that is the only way into and out of this city. It is a fully walled city. Now, on the morning of our first day, you and your group come across a poor, run-down, suffering human on the road. He's dirty, you can see from afar, he's emaciated, and as you get close, you hear him mumbling or ranting what appears to be gibberish.
I'll tell the caravan driver to pull over.
And he does as he's told. He says, yes, all right. And he stops the caravan. Whoa, the horse that's pulling it. He says, what is it?
I see a wounded dude up there. Looks sore.
Well, go and check it out. I'll stay here. What are the rest of you? You should all go check it out, in case he attacks.
For plot and stuff.
For plot and stuff. So you're all privy to what happens.
Well, come on, guys that I've just met and are very lightly acquainted with. Let's help this poor soul.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. As a paladin.
We have a pally. What is everyone's classes? We got a warlock, a pally, a monk,
And a wizard.
and a wizard.
Yeah, and you have a...
Witch hunter.
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Alright. So you guys make your way over there, and when you get up to him, you see that he's basically at the point of death. And he's ranting and saying what seems to be incoherent words. And then all of a sudden, you hear a few verses or lines of clear speech.
Like common tongue?
Yep, in common tongue, you can all understand it. And I'm just going to share what he says. Shares the following.
Can you dramatically read it to me?
Really?
Yes.
Yes. I agree with what he said.
You would.
I am a bastard.
Dramatically or like I'm dying? This is going to be great.
Yeah,
Do it
dying.
appropriately.
He doesn't say it like he's half dying. He's sort of almost as if he's possessed, says,
Almost if Dan wants to have an easier time reading it.
Yeah.
He says, the first is at the place where the dandelions rise above and cover the people. The virile and virulent can be one and the same. The hell-tinged one is lost, and then several are found upon. The second runs red with the blood of roots, where an heiress lies and hides her pain in long wooden boxes. She hides more than that, though, but only to keep what is hers. The third is at the spring of blessed life, where the haunt is protected and the protector's haunt. The water runs on, of course, and must be freed for all. The fourth holds the great thundering beasts, but the beasts are gone, to give way to a greater thundering beast with death in its eyes. They await at a place of ancient elven evil. And the fifth lies where the ancients lie beneath night's marble. Forgotten but not gone, the lost wealth of a forgotten time pays terrible dividends now. This is a message from the land's new master, and it is hidden fivefold. And then he dies. The last of his breath breathes out, and he slumps to your feet, and is no more.
Oh, thank you. That was fantastic.
You're welcome.
And the Academy Award goes to Dan New Zealanderson.
Well, I turn to the paladin and I say, "Well, don't just stand there. Resurrect him."
I'm afraid it was this man's time, and I'll say a prayer.
Oh well, fair enough.
I'm afraid I can't cast that spell.
How's he dressed, Dan?
He's basically dressed like a vagrant. He's got torn and tattered rags for clothes. Nothing, no adornment, no jewellery. Looks like a poor, ragged, maybe a homeless person if you were to assume that.
I suppose it'd be a decent thing to give this poor, babbling guy a burial.
I have a shovel, but if you have one, I will certainly help.
Cool. I don't know if I have a shovel. I'll check.
I don't think we do.
I don't have a shovel.
Fair enough.
I guess we'll just leave
Nothing
him here.
much here.
Who is the beard? Sorry, I just saw someone connected. Is that anyone of us?
I don't know.
You're giving yourself enough inspiration there, sir.
Hey, man.
Did you just like the flashing star?
Good to be inspired.
It is good to be inspired. So, you guys have obviously written down the Madman's Ravings.
Well, you have that picture. So.
Yep, you have that handout that I've given. Has everyone seen that? I'll just share it again, just to be annoying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it is the other guy, it looks like.
Ah, yep, cool. Hopefully we'll be getting on TeamSpeak now, then.
Can you give me a non-shit portrait, Dan?
Oh my god. Only if you change your name
To what?
to something that's not the same as Theron to start with.
Same color now. Oh wait, for the
First name color now.
non-Americans, there we go. Gotta have that U in there for no reason.
Thank you. I thought you were
I
talking
can only
about
see
noun. I'm
first
like,
name
I'm pretty
double
sure
dot.
noun is spelled with a U in both languages. Then I realised what you're talking about. You are a human? Yes. I didn't even choose
So-
that picture. Who chose that picture?
I did. I just grabbed it.
Oh,
Milo is the monk, is Theron the warlock, Durvan is the
wizard.
Pally,
Wizard.
or the wizard, and unnamed is the Pally.
Yes. Correct. How about that, Greg?
Greg. Greg the Paladin.
How's that for a paladin picture? You happy?
That's fine. I'm ecstatic.
Cool. All right. So Theron and Milo, who are scarily quiet. Are you guys still there?
Oh shit.
Nope.
So, what do you think all that crazy rambling was about?
Almost sounded like some kind of prophecy.
Almost sounded like various plot hooks.
Almost. The caravaneer yells from down the road and says, "What's going on? Is he all right?"
No, he's
I
dead.
am Groot.
Did you kill him?
I don't think
Nah.
so.
He just died. He rambled some stuff and then died.
Ah. Well, that's no good. Shall we be off?
Yeah, I guess so.
He sort of giddies the horses and comes up alongside you and says, "Oh, you're burying him. What a waste of bloody time that is. Look at him. No one cares for this poor guy."
Yeah, no, we didn't have shovels. On the caravan I hop.
I jump up as well.
All right.
I follow along too.
Cool. So you guys begin carrying along, and the caravan guy, who we're going to call Jeb, he says to you, "Did he say anything before he died?"
Yes, but I closed the picture.
It was a bunch of kind of crazy ramblings. I think he was a bit crazy.
Ah, what did he say?
The first is at a place where dandelions rise above and cover the people.
Dandelions. Gah. There's a couple of dandelion farms around here. Maybe he's talking about them.
Oh, well, shall we go check them out?
Oh, I don't know if I really want
Might
to.
as well.
Is there a dandelion grave site?
Nope. But
Well, maybe that's where he's referring.
Jeb says, "I'm not really too interested in going to the farms. They're not really big buyers out there.
Oh,
Or maybe I'll just head on to Hillsfar and I'll see you when you get to the city. If you want to go and check this out."
where are you from, fair trader?
Australia.
Australia?
The mystical
Wow.
land of Australia. And he
I see.
nods and says, "You probably haven't heard of it."
That sounds vaguely familiar. Oh, what do you guys want to do, fellow adventurers, that I guess I'm going to start spending the rest of my time with?
Let's go and look for this dandelion field that this random crazy guy talked about.
That sounds like something to do. What's the time?
The time is around 11 o'clock, just before lunch.
Well, the sun's almost high in the sky. We've got plenty of time left to do these things.
Plenty of the day left. The other caravaneer just grumbles.
Take
And
your bloody hood off, mate. Can't hear you.
Looks like he's very uninterested in heading anywhere else that involves walking, so he is opting to stay on the caravan.
Well, any directions to the nearest dandelion grave site?
The guy says, "Oh, it's been a while since I've been here, but pretty sure if you take the next left and follow that road, you'll get to at least one of the farms. I think that was the dandelion farm."
Cool, thanks.
Thank you kindly, Jeb.
No worries. Remember, if you find anything worth selling, bring it to Harry. Bring it to Hillsfar.
Where are you from now?
I'm not sure. Probably Australia.
You got like 5 different accents over the
Just don't draw attention to it. Jeez. He's obviously a master of disguise and is throwing you off his scent.
Can I roll an insight?
Oh my god, he's not from Australia at all. Okay, so you guys head down towards this town, take it on the left. I assume everyone does. Oh, hang on, we're just... Okay, and the other guy's trying to join in TeamSpeak. 1 second.
All gravy bananas.
Microphone muted.
Oh, I just pushed to talk. That's all good. No, I was just yelling at my dog and I was like, oh fuck, can I hear that?
They found a man that was dying on the side of the road, who was mumbling incoherently, and then just before he died, he said super clearly what sounds like some form of prophecy or something. Who knows? But very clearly came through a series of 5 clues, which I will just share to you now. Oh, actually, you probably already got it because you already logged in on Fantasy Grounds. So
Right.
he said those before he died, and then passed away on the side of the road. The group has just talked to the Caravaneer, and he suggested that for at least the first clue, there are dandelion farms in this area, and suggested that while he carries on to the town of Hillsfar, the group might want to check it out and see if there's anything interesting worth selling. He's a trader at heart, so he's keen to get his hand on anything money-wise. So the group has just come to the fork in the crossroads and left the Caravaneer. Oh, the 2 Caravaneers. One was a grumbly bastard who didn't say much. The other one was Jeb. And the group is now heading towards what they think is the dandelion farm. And after about 2 hours of walking down this sort of dirt road, you begin to see the fields on either side, sure enough, have dandelions growing in them. Not teeny weeny tiny ones, but they tend to be 4 to 5 to the really big ones, 7 or 8 feet tall. So large enough for a grown man to hide among.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So you guys are definitely sure that this might be where a dandelion farm is. Sorry, just 1 second. Just gonna grab a quick drink.
So what's our plan of attack, guys? We've got an opportunity to do some metagaming.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, okay, cool, man. I thought you guys cut us.
No.
Oh, sorry, I'm back. Okay, so you've just seen the dandelions start to grow on either side of the path, or the fields rather, start to have the dandelions growing in them. And you see a couple of people at the edge of one of the fields. They look like they're standing there with sides, ready to harvest some of these dandelions, and they're sort of talking animatedly between the two of them.
How far away are we?
Oh, you're like 10, 15 feet. You're going to walk past them on the road. There's about 15 feet to the dandelions from the road, and they're just standing at the edge of it.
Can I hear what they're saying?
Not unless you approach.
I will approach.
Alright, what does everyone else do?
I'll accompany him.
Yep, you'll go with.
I'm gonna approach with him.
Yep. Slide silently.
Okay, so you all head over, and as you approach, they look over, and they see the group of you, and one of them locks their eyes on the elf, and the other one locks their eyes on the halfling, and they quickly look to be standing at the defensive. They tighten up, tense, and their faces turn to scowls. And they say, "What are you doing here?"
Whoa, friends. We mean you no harm.
Oh, why would you travel with, Wait, no, you're an elf, aren't you? So you're one of the... Oh, we've got a
Yeah.
shitload of elves. Jesus. We got 1, 2... half elf, elf, and a halfling. So they look at the three of you and they say, "The three of you aren't welcome in these parts. Haven't you heard? Surprised the red plumes haven't stopped you already."
What are you talking about?
The red plumes, you don't know who they are? Well, you're
Nope.
gonna find out soon enough, that's for sure. And the other one looks over and he says, They're the guards of this town. This whole county is under the protection of the red plumes. They don't take kindly to your lot." And he looks at the three of you and scowls, and then they both turn shoulder to you and look away.
Well, that's quite disappointing. I was hoping that you guys could share a meal with us.
They ignore you and say, "Be on the way, lest we be caught fraternizing with people such as yourselves."
You guys are jerks.
But we're alive, jerks.
We're alive too, and we're not jerks.
He ignores you.
No, I was just gonna play the ignored card, eh?
Yep. Gonna pull
I-
that one out of his sleeve.
I throw a pebble at the back of his head.
It bounces off his head and he turns around and he says, "Hey! What are you trying to start here?
What are you trying to start? We're just friendly travelers, and
Be
you gotta
on
be
you with
all
it then.
aggressive.
Travel on. Get out of here."
Stop being so hostile, man.
He turns away again. What do the rest of
You
you
guys
do?
are jerk.
Oh, that was really rude.
Yeah.
It was incredibly rude. Almost feel like cutting them down where they stand.
That would
It
be
was so
mean.
rude.
And also very mean.
I want to see if I can see if they have any coin purses or anything hanging on them.
You want to try and rob him? Or
I
you
just want to see if it
you-
looks like they would have anything worth robbing.
Okay. You can easily look them over and see that they are sort of in farmer attire. Neither of them have any obvious valuables hanging off them. It's likely that if they were to have any valuables, they would be at home while they're working the fields. That's not to say they don't have any. They might, but there's nothing that's very obvious. No jewelry that you can see, no coin purses hanging off belts. You do see that they are both holding scythes and have smaller sickles wedged into their belts, and one of them has a quiver slung over his back, but you can't see where there's a bow.
They're not worth our time, boys. Let's move on.
Fair enough, my friend. Fair enough.
Alright, so you guys,
Bunch of dicks anyway.
and as you sort of walk into the distance, they don't say anything because they're still ignoring you. You guys carry on, and you get closer to a farm. You can sort of tell because the road becomes heavier travelled as various farm paths lead onto it, and it gets further closer to the farm. And you start to see the shape of farm buildings building up in the distance. And you eventually reach a point where the path opens up, and in front of you sits a large, medium-sized farm. It's got a large farmhouse, 2 barns, and a couple of granaries. And standing between the farmhouse and the granaries, or rather walking between the farmhouse and the granaries, are 2 youngish-looking figures. They look quite small. They appear to have buckets over their shoulders, and they're walking towards the farmhouse.
Should maybe the human approach this time, whereas all of us other ones maybe just stay back?
Well, have they
Yes.
noticed us?
No, they're sort of walking away from you. I guess if you were south, they'd be walking northeast.
Alright, I'll jog up to them and... Hey there!
As you approach, you see that there are 2 young girls. One of them is a half-orc, and the other one is a dwarf. And as you hail them, and you say, hello there, they turn around and you notice that they're definitely not human. And they look quite worried at the sight of you, and they shy away without saying anything. And they don't run, they just sort of shy away.
Whoa there, travelers. We mean you no harm. We only seek information.
As the group of you approach as well, they begin to get a little shaky, and they say, "Just ask Ma and Pa. Go to the farm. We don't have anything to say to you." And they quickly start making tracks towards the farmhouse.
My friends, it would seem that some of us are unwelcome in these lands.
They say, "I told you, sir. I've got nothing to say. Nothing to say."
I think it just might be the restrictions the local town has placed on non-human. Yeah.
Possibly. So as you guys are sort of trying to talk to these 2 girls as they're moving very warily away, you hear a large ruckus coming from the farmhouse. Sounds like there's a large crowd of people yelling over one another.
They sound like angry, like an angry mob.
Sounds, yeah, it could be a mob of people. You can't tell from where you are if they're angry or happy. There's just a large din of noise coming from the farmhouse. And the 2 girls, by this point, get up to the farmhouse door and have slipped inside. They've put the buckets down outside and they've gone in through the door.
Well, the farmhouse is obviously welcome to non-humans. I don't know if I'll be so welcome there.
We should go see if there's something we could help with, or a fight we can break up.
Yes, my friend, maybe there's some knowledge to be obtained.
Alright, so who's going to go to the house?
I might just,
I'll go.
I'll go, but I'll wait outside.
Okay.
Yeah. I
You-
proceed with caution.
Okay. So, Din and Durvan are going to wait outside. The other 3 are just going to wander on in.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll just walk right on in.
Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. Milo.
Okay. Roll initiative. No. So you walk in through the door, and as you approach the house, you see that the door is actually propped open. There's like a pitchfork or something leaning against the door, so it's not locked. And you walk in, and inside this farmhouse it goes down a short hallway and then opens up into a large sort of feeding or feasting area. There's long tables set up, and there's about 20 people bustling around a makeshift kitchen. There's at least 10 children, and they're all various non-human races. The adults, on the other hand, they're all human, and they attempt to be feeding all of these kids and eating and preparing food. And you see in the middle of the room a middle-aged woman, and she's shouting above the noise of people asking for food and yelling around at each other. And in one of her arms, she's cradling a human infant, and her other hand is in a sling at her waist. And then there's the few adult humans around her. They're all feeding all the people around and sorting things out. And you see amongst the children and adults, there are a total of 6 human infants. So there's about 10 non-human children, 6 infants, and around 8 to 10 adults that are all human.
Are there any doors along the hallway?
There was one that you passed that was closed, and you see that there is a couple of doors on the other side of this larger room. So you're sort of standing back at the doorway now. You haven't gone in yet.
Let's push forward.
All right. So you going through the threshold. You're going through the door, and the lady in the middle of the room looks over at you all, and says, "If you're here for a meal, grab some potatoes from the bin. Peel them up. We'll cook them up for you. You'll have to catch and dress your own chicken, though." And then turns back to talking to the people around her and organising the food going out.
Sounds good, hostess. Sounds good.
Is anyone going to do anything?
Oh, it's welcome a free feed. I guess I'll wander on in. Sounds like not hostile.
Yeah, I'll wave in the people from outside.
Yep.
Letting them know that it's safe to come in, sort of deal.
Cool. So as you all pile in, she notices that there's 5 of you and says, "Oh, there's a bloody lot of you. Well, make yourself useful. Someone go and fetch Penroth. Ask the 2 girls outside where that boy's got off to. And if any of you are good with animals, get out to the goat barn and see if Jovi's kids are ready to pop yet." And then she looks over to a small figure and says, "Werner, take some of this lot and introduce them to Jovi. When you're done, come back. Meal will be ready."
Sounds really intense.
Such great chores. Chores.
Gonna walk over to her and say, "It looks like you're injured," gesturing to her arm.
She looks and she says, "Yeah, pulled the bloody arm out looking after the goats, I did."
I'm gonna do that. Give her some hand action.
So you rub down on her injured
Give
arm.
her a sensual massage.
Yep. And before she smacks you with a ladle, she realizes that you're healing her arm, and her pain disapparates. And she looks at you and says, "I thank you for that. There's not much chance to get into the city these days and get to any of the clerishes to look after myself. I appreciate it."
I'll just give her a smile and grab some taters and start a peeling.
Okie doke. So Dagran, Theron, what do you do at this point?
I'll go out and fetch the. What was the name of the kid she wanted to fetch?
Penroth. I'll chuck that in chat
Yeah.
for you.
Oh,
Penroth.
yep. I'll go out and try and fetch Penroth.
All right.
Yep,
you head out
and I'll
the
follow him.
door. Duvan heads out the door as well. Milo, where would you like to head?
I think she said something about giving birth to an animal or something.
Yep.
I'm
If
gonna go
anyone
ahead.
is familiar with husbandry or animal care, there's some goats by the sounds that look like they need to pop out a kid.
Yeah, I'll go help out with that.
Alrighty. So you head over to the small figure that you named Verna, and you see. You notice that he is. What is he? I think he's a half elf boy. So he begins to lead you outside. Din, where do you
Cut
go?
out? Was that me?
Am I still there? Maybe I was
Yeah.
talking too quietly. Sorry. So Din, where are you heading? Or are you actually cut out? I guess for now, Din is going to sit there and peel potatoes.
In the
User in your
arms
channel timed out.
of the
Yeah, he did.
angels.
User entered your channel.
Welcome
Died.
back.
All right.
Oh, what's going on? I think.
It was all you. Where are you headed next? Are you going to go help with the birthing goats? Are you going to help peel potatoes and catch chickens? Or are you going to go and attempt to find Penroth?
I live life 1/4 mile at a time. So I'll peel some potatoes.
Okay, so you start peeling potatoes with Dagrin. Theron, you head outside and you see the two girls. They're back outside, and it looks like they've emptied their buckets and they're heading back to the barn that they were walking from. And as you get outside, you see them just reaching the barn and stepping into a slop pit, and they begin scooping fertilizer. We'll be polite. We'll say fertilizer into the buckets.
So shit.
Yes. Poos.
Okay.
Poos from the animals.
That's gross. I'm glad I'm potating.
I wander over them and I call out, "Have you guys seen Penroth around?"
They look at each other sideways and then they say, no, I haven't seen him.
Did I just lose connection again?
Probably.
Can I do like a insight check to see if
Yep.
I think that they know more than they're saying?
Yep, roll an insight.
User in your channel timed out. User entered your channel.
Oh, what the fuck?
Nice internet there, man.
I'll just go and see what's going on.
Alright, so you can obviously tell that they're lying. They're barely hiding it. They're
What did they
children.
say?
They said that they don't know where Penroth has gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Cool. You can definitely tell that they're hiding something or not telling you something. What would you like to do?
I don't know.
You could try and press them for more. You could intimidate them. You could do any manner
So
of
what
thing.
time of day would it be?
It's about midday by now. So there's this den of noise that you guys have all come into, and the meal you're helping to prepare is likely to be lunch.
User
could I
in your channel
try and
timed
help
out.
them out with their
User entered
chore
your
of
channel.
the slot buckets to try and,
Try and
You
get
know,
them talking.
help. convince them to, try and get them to talk to me?
Definitely. So you grab a shovel and you start shoveling fertilizer, and sort of talking to them, and roll a persuasion check with advantage as you try and talk them round to telling you where he's gone. Easy way to roll advantage as well. I forgot to mention that. There's a grey series of boxes that have one big box that says 0, and then an ADV, DIS, +2, +5, -2, -5. If you click the
Yep.
ADV before you roll something, it'll roll it with advantage. And same if you do DIS, that's disadvantage. So that's right, you roll
Okay,
20.
and
So they definitely appreciate the help, and they end up passing on the information that Penroth is very often caught out the back pastures, and he only really goes there because he's expressly forbidden from going there. With all the sort of dislike of non-humans, they tell you he's a non-human child, like most of the kids here, and the farm doesn't want any wandering red plumes, as they're called, to find out that there are plenty of non-humans here. But as a small child, he is bloody well keen to do what he's not told. So they tell you of a back pasture right at the back of the fields through the back entrance of the farm, and tell you just beyond the goat barn you'll find a path, and that he's likely to be up there if anywhere.
Okay, before I head over and to go find him,
Yep.
can I ask them? So what exactly does everyone have against non-humans around here anyway? Why does everyone hate us so much?
One of the girls, the dwarf, begins to cry, and the other one says, "Knock it off! It's ridiculous. I don't know why. All I know is that we're here, my parents are dead, and we're not allowed to be back at our home."
And I tap Taryn on the shoulder and say, "Come, Taryn. Let us be off. These children, they do not look like they know much."
Yeah, I leave. I apologize for upsetting them, and then I leave to try and find Penroth.
And they go back to shoveling shit. Milo, you were going to the goat, yes?
Yep.
Cool. So while this is happening, and while the other two are peeling vegetables, you follow Werner, who's a half-elf kid? Yep.
Yeah.
So he shows you to the back of the farm where this goat barn is, and before you even get close, you hear some high-pitched shrieks of fear and panic coming from the barn door. You're about 50 feet away, and there's some horrible, horrible noise coming from the barn. And at the moment these screams start going, Werner gasps and begins to run towards the barn.
I give chase.
The miracle of life.
So you both reach the barn door. You manage to easily catch up to him, and you both get to the barn door around the same time. And as you look in, you see that there's a couple of dozen goats filling the barn, but most of them are huddled in the corners, shying away from a single goat in the center of the room. This goat has a hideously distended belly, and you can tell that this is probably the pregnant goat. But she is very large, and whether you've dealt with animals in the past or not, it's unlikely that you've ever seen anything quite like this. Werner begins worrying and fussing and runs over to her and stops just short of her before reaching her, and he says, "I was only tending to her this morning. She wasn't like this. This is most strange." And he sort of collapses to his knees and is unsure of what he should be doing.
Is there anyone else in the room?
No, it's just the two of you.
All right, well, I'll go over to the goat.
All right, so you head over to the goat, and it's writhing around on the floor, and its belly is kicking and wobbling and moving around. And you see from the other end that there is what looks to be some goat feet hoofs just poking out the bottom. And it looks like Jovi, the goat, is in labor.
All right. I'm going to turn to the Vernon and tell him it's time to, looks like she's ready to go.
He
And then
says,
I'm going to take my shirt off.
Whoo! Shirt off, the halfling. So you would like to help? Werner says he's never done this before. Do you know what you're doing? You have to help, please.
Werner, you're gonna be a daddy.
I think I saw something happen once. I'm not sure.
Awesome. You can either roll medicine or nature, whichever one's better for you, to see if you can help this goat give birth.
All right.
Ew.
Oh dear. So you
Push it back in.
you basically you just start foiling around, and then you realize that you're actually in the wrong hole, and then
Oh, fuck.
nothing that crass happens. You begin to help this poor goat give birth, and she's screaming and kicking, and then suddenly is still. There's a mess of blood everywhere, and it looks like Jovi has died. And unfortunately, or fortunately, from the other end where the goat was coming out, things are still happening, and almost tearing open the goat in half, a large kid pulls itself free from the goat, and it's very apparent, very clear what the problem might have been. This kid is almost the size of an adult goat. It's got bright red fur, not blood, but bright red, and it stares at you with two heads. It immediately stands up and wobbles away with a dismissive "bah" that is much deeper than a kid, and it's more than a little unsettling. And before you can react, another red-furred kid bursts from the corpse of Jovi. And you know it's not uncommon for goats to have twins, but a third follows that, and then another, and before you know it, 5 more kids lie on the ground near the corpse of their mother. A total of 6 goats, one of them with 2 heads.
They all have red fur.
They all have red fur. And Werner, by this point, is a mess on the ground, sobbing over the head of Jovi that is now still.
Rolled so poorly they became demon goats.
I'm pretty sure that's how this usually happens, there, Werner. I guess I comfort him for a little while.
All right. And you just leave the goats to wander off, do their own thing?
Yeah.
Cool. So yep, they all bugger off, and Werner subs quietly, but then calms down after a bit and tells you that Jovi was their last female goat, their last breeder, and unless one of these newborns are a female, then it's likely they've lost their ongoing food and milk supply. And he tells you to leave him be with the goats, and that
All right.
he will clean up the mess. But to go back and tell B, and he explains that that's the woman that was holding the baby in the house. He says, go back and tell B, tell her that Jovi has died.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, so you head out of the barn. You see Devan and Theron walking up the path towards you. And Devan and Theron, you've heard this screaming and shouting and horrible noises that was coming from the goat, and then silence, and then you've seen Milo coming out from the barn.
What was going on in there?
This goat had a clown car of other goats inside it. It was crazy.
I swear you're about to say clitoris.
Hey guys, I finally found it!
It was on the goat the whole time.
Sadly, she died, though.
It was all red and furry.
Oh my god.
Red.
What do you mean, red?
Yeah, they were red goats. Or kids.
Hang on a sec. The hell-tinged one is lost, then several are found. Those goats sound kind of hell-tinged, maybe. Think this has got something to do with what that crazy guy was talking about?
Very observant.
Oh. Truly.
Have
I
you?
didn't even
This
think
does
of that.
sound right. So I walk into the barn.
All right. You walk in and you see this gory scene laid out in front of you. You see a young half-elf boy draped, covered in blood, over the head of a very obviously dead mother goat whose bottom half is shredded beyond belief. And you see the 20-ish normal goats clustered around the room. And then you see the cluster of the red goats. The kids, one of them has 2 heads, and they're standing separate from the other goats. They seem to have bunched up together in one corner of the barn.
Do they look like vicious, or like are they doing like anything that seems threatening?
No, they're just sort of barring and just stumbling around.
Are they a lot
Not
more
actively.
mature than baby goats ought to be?
The large one is a lot larger than baby goats would be. Goats do come out walking, pretty sure. They do in this universe, even if they don't.
Cool.
Nice.
Good save.
But they're not obviously attacking anyone. Like, they're not charging forwards to eat you. They're just new kids on the block.
Oh, I was gonna make that joke.
Too late.
Oh, sorry, man. Sorry about that.
It's alright. You
Just trying to
wisely look
shoot-
around the barn. You see.
No, I was just
that
trying
there
to
are
swap
goats.
some. Yeah. Swapping some stats around, man.
That's right. So, does anyone do anything, or are you just gonna leave the barn, head off and find Penroth?
I'm heading back to the
Can
house.
I'm wondering, can I use my perception to I don't actually know what I'm going to be checking for, but yeah, I was going to just check, see if there's anything I can notice about the goats.
Not perception.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
But I'll let you roll the better of the two of your Arcana or Religion, if you like.
I'm pretty useless at both, but what the hell?
Sorry, Dan.
Yep.
How do I swap around my stats? Yeah, because I believe I gave you my intelligence and wisdom. It swapped. Yeah. The values I gave you had swapped. I was supposed to put in wisdom at 17, intelligence at 12. Oh, the other way around. Sorry. So how do I change that about?
Just click on one once, and then type in the number that you want in there, and click on the
Oh,
other.
okay. So you just click on it once, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cause oh Jesus, that explains it. I had numlock on, man. God, I tried typing in for ages and nothing happened. I was like, what? What is occurring? Alright,
so
man.
you
Sweet. Okay, so
rolled sorry.
16.
No, go on.
Yeah, forget that.
Forget
Forget
the
that
advantage.
first one. I accidentally had the advantage on.
All right, cool. So, was that Arcana? Yeah, you can sort of tell that there's something magical or not quite normal about them, but you can't.
perhaps could I assist Theron in the
You
Arcana
can
check?
roll. You can roll your own if you like.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll just do that.
Am I there as well, or am I still peeling tatties?
Oh, yeah, I have no idea.
You and Dagrin are still peeling taters. You would have heard
Man.
the screaming. Would you guys like to go and investigate or stay there?
Yeah, I'll definitely investigate screaming.
Okay, so you guys begin to head out. Devan, you don't notice anything particularly out of the ordinary.
Okay,
But
okay.
Theron, you get the feeling that there's something magical, something almost arcane about these things, but you're not quite sure what it is. You can't pin it down.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but it sure as hell doesn't look natural. I think we need to get a cleric or somebody to have a look at what's going on here.
Or maybe
Yes,
some
that
sort
would
of
be-
paladin. Where could we find one of those guys?
So, are you guys going to stay in the barn, or are you going to head out?
Oh, I think I'll stay in the barn a bit longer and study these animals.
Okay. So Milo,
I
you're
still need to
heading-
find.
Sorry.
I was going to say, I still need to find Penroth, don't I?
Yes.
I will head out and I'll continue my search for Penroth.
All right, you head out. Is anyone going to go with him at this time? With Theron?
No, I'm good. I'm just chilling out with these.
Abandon Theron at his time of need. So Dagrin and Din, you guys reach the goat's barn roughly the time Theron is heading out and heading up the path, and he tells you that he's carrying on to find Penroth. I guess, do you tell them about the goats inside?
Yeah, I'll tell them that, and I'll tell them that, yeah, there's something really unnatural about it, so, yeah.
Alright. Well, I'll take a look-see.
Yeah, I have a gaze.
Okay, so Theron begins to walk up the path by himself, and you two go into the barn, and you see the same bloody scene with all the goats, bits and pieces. And Dagrin, you immediately walk in, and with advantage, roll religion.
Well, okay. Religion. Alright, boom.
And then you look away, because there's obviously nothing wrong with that two-headed goat, and you... see
Alright,
the other
well
two.
here, check this. Bam! Wait. By bam, I mean... Bam!
Oh, what is that?
I could detect undead, fiends, and
Celestials.
celestials.
Ooh, is that going to help? Is it going to help? Do you think it's going to help?
I mean, if they're fiendish demon goats...
Nope. You don't detect.
Nope.
You don't detect any
Alright.
fiendish.
Everything's two-headed red-furred cows. Everything checks out. Alright.
Okay in Mabuk.
Thumbs up.
Can I would like to pet one.
Okay. So you,
Like
which
pet
one?
him.
The two-headed or one of the littlies?
I go for the two-headed one.
Which
Why
of the
not?
two heads?
So as you go up to the
The left
two-headed
one.
goat, one of the heads screams and the other one snaps at your fingers with a furiously fast bite that you roll a dex check. Or dex save, sorry. Roll a dex save.
Oh fuck, man!
You take 1 damage as he nips the end of your fingers.
Shit. Oh yeah. So everyone knows,
Yep.
I roll lots of ones.
All the time.
You
Every
gotta make it
time.
interesting, don't you, man?
I do.
Actually, Dagrin, I'm going to overrule the rules of Divine Sense, the typing, because it makes sense that their typing is actually one of those three.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to do Fiend. So you detect that they have the presence
Fiendish.
of fiendishness in them.
Fiendish goats.
Yep.
Alright,
Wait,
so...
if he knew this, would he have told me, and I would not have attempted to
No,
pet it?
he smelt it as you went over there and it screamed and bit you.
Okay, cool.
The fiendishness came out, and it has fiendish
Triggered
veracity.
the fiendish gas.
Yes, I was triggered.
That's worth 1 hit point for sure.
Faux
Alright.
schnizzle.
So I will draw my sword and my shield
Mhm.
and yell out, "These goats are tainted by evil!"
And Verna,
as he does that,
seeing you pull out the sword, screams, "No, stop!"
Yeah. As he does that, I reach out for his sword arm, and I go, "Whoa, friend, hold on. Maybe there is something we may learn from these fiendish goats, as you claim it to be."
Verna leaves Jovi's side and stands between you and the goats and says, "Please, no! You can't possibly kill them. This is meant to be our meat for the whole of the winter."
And I turn to face Verna and I say, my friend, I would not advise upon eating these goats. They do not seem to be natural.
He shrugs and says, 2 heads, double the neck meat. Hey!
Wow.
But obviously not quite that happy. But he asks you why you wouldn't eat it. They're just red goats.
I tell him that my friend over here has sensed an evil presence within these creatures, and we would like to investigate further.
He says, as long as you don't kill them, evil presence or no, it's still food.
Well, I say I will do my best, my friend, to ensure that these goats to survive as long as possible.
All right.
And I
Din,
chuckle.
you...
Yes, sir.
You...
Him.
Me.
You should have looked at them. Because what are you?
A witch hunter.
Oh, Din, are you playing a witch hunter?
Yeah.
Nice.
Those goats aren't witches, though. I mean, come on.
You have advantage to basically get the same types as that divine sense, to track them and to gain insight on them. So you can do those, which I'm going this time to tell you that you should do that. But from now on, it'll be up to you.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure. I was wondering if I'd be able to do something with them.
Yeah.
So I'm
Hunter's
assuming
Bane
you
ability?
watched that Vin
Oh,
Diesel clip on YouTube then?
His name's Din Diesel. Fuck.
Vin Diesel is a copyright celebrity's name. Jeez.
I don't think he's gonna show up and be like, "Hey, I played the Iron Giant. That's my name."
But if
I
you
don't
did,
think
that'd be
that's-
totally rad.
I'd be like,
Okay,
"Yes, you did do those."
So
It's
roll
actually-
a insight check.
It's actually 6th level that I gain advantage on insight checks.
Yeah.
But I'll still roll insight.
Oh, sorry, no, you have wisdom survival. There you go. Intelligence checks to recall information about them. So, roll a survival or a...
So survival with advantage or a insight with normal.
At 6th level, you get advantage on that insight check.
Yeah, I suppose I'll roll survival with advantage.
Go then. And you agree with Dagon's consensus that these are fiendish goats, but you learn nothing new about them.
These goats are fiendish and should be destroyed.
So, Devan and Milo. Milo, what are you doing? You partaking? You on the side of saving the goats? Or are you fuck these guys, kill them?
I was headed back to the.
Oh,
the
you already
house.
left. Sorry. I
He's like,
the other
"I
two
don't give a
came in.
fuck about no goats. I'm out of here."
Okay, sorry, I was under the impression you'd gone back in the barn with the rest. Okay, so you head back to the farm and you tell B what has happened, and she looks quite devastated at the news and says, "Oh, that is bad news for the farm. We're gonna have shitload less food than we were expecting this winter. Any news on finding Penroth?"
Not that I know of. I could go check on that if you'd like.
She says, I bet that little bastard's back at the backfield again. He knows we've been running into beasts out there. We should have tied him up like a bloody dog. He's always out there. And she looks at you and
I'll
she
go find
says,
him.
"Yeah, please find him quickly before he gets hurt. Don't need to lose another kid."
Hey.
Hey, witty jokes.
All right, I'll go back outside and
All right, so you start heading
double
up.
time it.
All right, so you begin running, I guess, up the path. Theron, you're about half a mile up the path by this point, and you, where do you? you hear a long howl from up ahead. But you don't see anything.
Like
Like an animal
does it
howl.
sound like an animal?
Yeah.
An animal howl.
Like an animal.
And this is still midday,
Um,
right?
Yes, this is still midday. So,
I'll start.
Khajen, you've got an open mic.
Sorry?
Your mic is open.
Are you
Oh,
like
okay.
playing as passenger seat in a car or something?
Oh, sorry, man. Like helicopters fly everywhere. Jesus, it's a bit ridiculous.
Fly everywhere. Where? What the fuck?
I know, right? God damn it.
Did you know he lives in an airport?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Well, that would explain it.
Do you want to check it out push to talk?
Oh yeah, actually, that sounds like a good idea. Okay,
Or
so
you
how?
could just fuck with your the what's it called?
Push to talk is
Sorry?
quickest. Go to settings, then
Okay,
go
cool.
to capture, and then click push to talk, and then put in a key.
So settings, would that be under like setup wizard?
Now,
Those kind of things,
at the top,
options?
you've got connections, bookmarks, self permissions, tools, settings. At the
Yep,
top of the
yep.
then-
Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry, and then options. Sorry.
Cool. All good.
Yep.
No stress. Push to talk,
Cool bananas.
and that would be under chat, whisper,
Capture.
capture. Oh, okay, cool. Push to talk. Sweet. Sounds good.
Awesome. All right, so Theron, you've heard the howl. It's not so loud that you can imagine the people at the farm have heard it. It sounds still to be quite a little way away.
Do I recognize what creature would make the howl? Like, does it sound like a wolf or anything I would know about?
Roll a nature check for me. No.
I
You don't
guess not.
Maybe some sort of
Uh,
dog, but who knows?
I'll keep heading up the path. Might start like jogging. I'll go at like a moderate pace.
Okay, so you increase the pace and begin moving up. We go back to Dargrin, Dargrin, Devan, and Din in the goat farm. The goat barn.
Now, I've been sitting here and looking at this goat for some time, right?
Yes.
So would I perhaps get maybe an advantage on insight or perception, something like that?
No.
After studying this goat?
Fortunately,
Okay,
no
so okay, so I'm just gonna roll an insight to see what I can gather about this goat.
Yep.
What more information I may gather.
Okay.
Yep, no more information is found today. Anything?
I've played this part of the module, so I'm not going to really say anything. I don't want to spoil things for you guys, so.
Well, if the child doesn't want us to kill the goats, then I guess we move on. I don't know. We could either...
Perhaps we should move this goat into the sunlight. Maybe it might have some interesting effect on this being.
All right. So
Well,
how do
that's
you
not a bad
want to try
idea.
and get it out there?
Oh no,
Sorry,
I'm
heard
just
of that?
saying this to my friends. Like I'm just talking to the party
Oh, okay.
in general. What do you guys think?
That actually sounds like quite a good idea.
All right, I'll help with that idea, sure.
So what's the plan? Does anyone have any rope or something we may use to like
Leash.
move this thing?
I'd
Yeah.
have some rope, yeah.
Yeah, I have some rope too.
Cool. Could we like fashion like some sort of a lasso? We could kind of like drag it out with.
Sure. So you guys, someone grabs out some of the rope and fashions a lasso. Roll a dexterity check, whoever's going to try and do it, to try and get it over one of the goat's heads. I assume you're going for the two-headed goat, yeah?
Yeah,
Yep.
I guess I'll do it.
It's got two heads, so roll with advantage. Just bound to go over one of them. Cool, so you easily get it, and it slides nice down over the top of both of their heads, through to their collective shoulders and neck. And, yeah, so when the rope falls around its neck, it sort of doesn't look too pleased with it and begins stomping around, but when you yank on it, it follows. It sort of walks with you as you're pulling on it. and all the other little goats follow along with it. So they're sticking near it. So the group of 6 of them follow you as you pull it outside the door, and they step into the sunlight, and all of a sudden, they're all out in the sunlight.
Well, that was an interesting experiment.
And one of the goat's heads begins to chomp and chew on the rope, trying to break free, and it begins pulling away at you.
Hey, that's my rope. I'll quickly loosen the rope before he has a chance to destroy it.
Roll a dex check. Dex save, sorry.
Is that because I'm like saving the rope?
Yep.
No. Fuck.
You're pulling and trying to untangle it, and it bites off 5 feet of your rope.
God! Whenever it matters, guys, I roll bad.
That's a clear sign that goat is possessed by demons. Inconsiderate.
So Vern has followed you out by this point to try and ensure that you're not killing these goats.
Son, if I wanted to kill these goats, I don't think you could stop me. I have my sword and shield out, but I'm just standing there.
Okay. You guys notice, as you've heard of these goats outside, you notice Milo jogging up the path, running past you, and towards the backfield that Theron had gone. And
okay, so as he's jogging, does he look like he's going with purpose?
I don't know. Milo, do you?
Yeah, I'm more sprinting than jogging.
Okay, then maybe I kind of like go like a little bit of a, "Whoa, Milo, where go thee?"
I'm off to find Penroth.
Why? What's wrong?
I don't know. Beef sounded really concerned about his safety. She said there was something about beasts in the area.
Beasts, you say?
She seemed concerned, so I figured I would find the boy post haste.
This might be slightly more interesting than this goat that does do nothing.
Beast, you say? Fuck the 2-headed goat. Let's go find some beasts.
Yeah, I'm over the goat. Let's go. Fine.
Alright, cool.
Like that, I'm over the goat.
This goat is boring. I expected it to explode in the sun. It didn't. I'm over it. Let's leave.
At least catch fire
You
and melt
far,
slowly.
And so I look at the kid, well, the boy who's following us about, and I say, "Child, lead these goats back into the paddock. They may be safer over there, for their beasts about."
He looks at
And
you
Lead
and
them
he
into
says,
the what?
"The rope's gone. How am I supposed to do that? I'll find a way. Jeez."
God. Adventurers these days, I
Well, they-
swear.
They don't call you Master Goat Herder for no reason.
They don't call me that at all.
I'm calling you that. Now do your job.
Well, he shrugs and says, "All right, I'll try and find some rope or something." And he wanders off into the barn.
Glad that.
All right, so what are you guys going to do? You're all heading off following Milo, yeah?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep.
All right, so you all start running up the path, and Theron, we cut back to you at this point. You reach where the path goes into a thicket of trees, and once again you hear a loud howl, and it definitely sounds like it's a lot closer now. Maybe more than one as well. And roll a perception in the tower, please. Okay, so you definitely hear that there's more than one animal howling, and amongst the howling, you hear shouting. It's a person shouting what sounds to be maybe, "Get away! Get out! Go!" And then the howling continues.
So, does it sound like a kid, or does it sound like a
Doesn't sound
grown-up
like a kid.
person? I'd like to approach, kind of carefully. I was like, actually, first, do I know how far away this sounds like this is happening?
It sounds like it could be within a couple of 100 meters. Probably on the other side of the
Okay.
thicket, or within the thicket.
Okay, I'll run up to the thicket and try and get a look at what's going on without making too much noise or attention.
Do you want to try and stealth when you reach the thicket? Sorry.
I think, yeah, once I reach the thicket, I'll try stealthing.
Okay. All right. So roll me a stealth check in the tower as well. Alright, so you reach the edge of the thicket, and you see that about 10 feet down the path, it opens up again. So there's about 10 feet of bushes, and then it opens up into a small clearing that is surrounded by trees on all sides. And you see in the center of the clearing, there is the following scene. You see a... Oh, let me just put you on the map. You see a man standing in the center of the clearing, and around him you see a pack of dogs snapping furiously at the man. He's fending them off with what looks to be a staff and maybe a sickle or a small knife, and you also see cowering behind the man and amongst his clothes is a small tiefling boy. You assume that's probably Penroth.
Okay. So are they actually currently in, like,
Fighting with him?
hang on. Yeah, just give me a sec. I'm just trying to read up my spells. I just want to check if I try and do like an Eldritch Blast, I'm not going to like hurt that it's not going to hurt anyone else.
Don't think Eldritch Blast is a AoE. What else do you have?
Yeah, it looks like Eldritch Blast is just, I think it's just target, from
Just
what
a
I'm
beam.
reading of it. So I might try and do that at the nearest wolf. Hang on, I'll check what I've got, how far away it is.
Alright. Before you do, I'm just going to get rid of that adult dragon that's in the combat tracker. I'll get you to roll initiative. You aren't noticed by the dogs, so you will have a surprise round, but then we will go to initiative order. So just roll initiative as soon as you're ready.
Okay.
And cool. I'll just move the others out. Combat. There we go. And yeah, so you get a surprise round. So it is going to be your turn first, and you beat them anyway. Nice. So you're going to get 2 turns. The first turn you can attack with advantage because you're attacking from sneak. You're hidden from them. So if you want to do a Eldritch Blast at one of the dogs, you can do so with advantage.
Okay, I think I'll do that. I'll double check the range. I think from memory it's 120 feet though, isn't it?
Yeah, they'll definitely be within range. Yeah, 120 feet.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, so I'll...
And blasts over the dog's head. Oh, you didn't roll with advantage. Roll another attack. Hey, critically hit. So before you roll the damage, can you drag it as if you're going to drop it onto the chat, and then right-click once more before you drop it?
This
Oh,
is the
actually-
damage die you're talking about.
Yep. So don't right-click once more. It's got 1 dice to start with, yeah? 1d10. Now roll another 2 damages. Oh, no, it's dead anyway. Cool. So you instantly blow it off the face of the earth. That was a quad damage crit that you got, so you didn't even need it. But you blast
Quad
it, and
damage.
a big bolt of green energy shoots out from your hands, goes into the dog, and it just explodes and evaporates in a big ball of green flame. And at this point, all the other dogs whip their heads around to see where this attack came from. But you managed to have your next turn before they can react. So, your turn again.
Sick.
Seek mind. Fully seek.
Okay, that
believe
works
that
so
just
well. I
happened.
think we'll try and do the same. So with cantrips, I basically cast them with unlimited times, don't I?
Correct. They
Yeah.
are at will.
Okay, I'll target this guy.
Hellish Rebuke. What does that do?
Oops, sorry.
Oh, wouldn't that be a reactionary spell, though?
Yeah, that. Okay, I didn't mean to do that, but we might as well play it where it lies. So, I think that's an action which means that if it attacks me, I get a reactionary damage on it, don't I?
You actually can't play that where it lies, because you can only cast that as a reaction. So if something attacks you, you can then cast that using your reaction. So we'll just count that roll of a 13 plus 2 as a firing at the dog. So I'll take that roll with 15, which definitely hits, and then just roll the Eldritch Blast damage on the creature.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's no worries. And you explode another one in a big ball of green flame. By this point, do you want
You
to
don't
move?
even need to be there.
Do you want to move at all?
I'm trying to think about that. I'm probably still pretty squishy. Yeah, what the hell? I'll move up.
Where would you like to move to? Alright.
Try there for a start.
So you run in, arms blazing, green fireballs, exploding dogs left, right. And one of the dogs... Oh, is that your turn? That'll be your turn, isn't it? Yep. One of the dogs lifts up his head and howls furiously. And it's ear-piercing and splitting and louder than you could possibly imagine. And you realize that it's because it's not just that dog that is howling, but it is met by the howling of a huge monstrous beast that bursts out of the trees above you and begins to run down towards you. That
You're in
dog-
trouble.
that dog
Oh
snaps
dear.
at the guy and misses. The other dog snaps at the guy and hits. And he tears a huge chunk of flesh from the man's arm, and blood begins dripping down and splashes on the ground. And the guy screams out in pain, and he tries to cover the boy with his other arm as he's fending off this wild dog. And the large, huge dog Alpha has bounded out of the trees, and he snaps and snarls at you and attempts to bite you, and doesn't target you because I'm terrible at this game. Targets you this time, hits and deals, hopefully not a KO, 7 damage, which is very bloody close.
Oh, shit.
So he just leaps out of the bushes and latches onto you and bites down and shakes furiously. Everyone who's running, please roll me a athletics check.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Woo!
Yeah, halflings struggle to run.
So Dahlgren and Din, you guys both
My game
make
crashed.
Yeah, you did. You guys both make it in at this point. I'll roll initiative for you, Paragon.
Alright.
And roll initiative. And he got a 7. And Din got a 9. So you guys are going to come in this round. Durvan and Milo roll initiative as well, but you guys will not be part of this round. Oh, good. Got a 1. Jeez. Alright, so the dog has just bit. Theron's turn. You could use that hellish rebuke when it bit you. Would you like to use your reaction to cast that spell and try and blast him?
Yeah, I think I'll do that. Because that's a reaction, which means I can still disengage as well on the same
so
turn,
this
can't I?
reaction doesn't take it doesn't take place on your turn. It's part of their turn, so you can cast that and still have your full turn when it's yours.
Okay, I'll do that now.
All right, make sure you target it. All right, and now roll damage, and you deal. Oh, you rolled it twice. Just roll. Roll again. Yeah, it should have done full damage, so I'll fix that. Because you rolled the success after you rolled a failure. So it takes 14 damage. And a big ball of flame shoots out of you as it bites and blasts into its mouth and forces it to let go and howl, and blood and burnt flesh drips from its face.
That's crazy damage. That's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's 2d10, but it's a spell slot, so it's about right. And now it is your turn.
Okay, I will disengage and run as far away as I can.
Okay.
Get behind the guy with the sword and shield.
It's alright. Grabbing you guys from the wrong place again. Why am I doing this? Din, Vizu, and Dahlgren. So you disengage and you move away 30 feet.
You can move double your speed if you disengage.
How?
I thought you.
Isn't dash a separate action?
Yeah.
I thought I'd.
Oh, I thought you can't do that.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a liar.
Disengage costs you action, but stops you from taking opportunity attacks, but no other bonus.
Well, if it uses an action, can't you move with the other?
You can move with your normal movement action, but you can't dash with a bonus.
I mean, how does that work? If you disengage, move your movement, can't you move your movement again?
Why?
No,
still have to
disengaging
move.
is its own thing.
Yep.
Disengaging isn't moving. So
Yeah.
you use like your normal attack action. Instead of that, you use a disengage, and then you do your normal movement.
Yeah. Disengage doesn't provide you with movement. It just means if
okay.
you were to trigger an opportunity to attack, you no longer do.
All right, I'm a bad person. I'm sorry.
That's alright. I'm used to it. Okay, so
Why
you
do
move away.
I should have.
Do you do anything with any
12.
bonus actions? What should you
Do I do anything with? What's that? Sorry.
No, go ahead. You have Hex, which is a bonus action, I think.
I only get one spell as one level 1 spell, don't I?
Oh, yes. No, that's
Which
it.
I've already used on my Hellish Rebuke, so I think I'm probably about out of things I can do, aren't I?
I think so, yeah. Alrighty. So, Wild Dog. He breaks off from the pack and gives chase to the group of interlopers that have arrived in the area. The other dog snaps at the man and misses. And Din Wiesel arrives on the scene.
Heyo!
Sees a vicious pack of dogs and a large, huge, beastly animal besetting the others.
Oh, moving for the strike.
Alright.
And then I will attempt to strike.
And you miss furiously.
All that running, I'm tired.
Dagrin, you move
Alright.
up 30 feet.
Yep, I'll move up. Can I, like, sheath my sword, throw a javelin at Wild Dog 1, and then take out my sword?
No. You can.
I know I could draw and sheath as part of a movement.
Can you?
Well, draw. I think it's draw or sheath.
Yeah, you can. You can use a free action to draw or sheath a weapon at any time, but you can't use it as part of another action.
All right. Well, I'll put my. Can I put like my sword away and draw a javelin?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that, and then
You
throw
just
the
can't get your
javelin.
sword back out.
All right, at Wild Dog 1.
Okay.
Sorry, I think stuff's lining up, by the way. I think I've accidentally...
Dealt some more damage. Yeah, that's right. I'll remove that 3.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't realise if it's not your turn, you can still actually damage things.
Yeah, that's right. Now you know. So you throw your javelin and it... Oh, can you roll that attack again at disadvantage?
All right.
Because you're throwing through the large dog.
Worst case, it hits him. So
It doubly misses. And hits the big one instead. So that little dog is alive. Big one takes 6 damage. Alright. Is that your turn?
yep, and I'll just, the big dog. I'll just yell at it and say things and get its attention. Come at me, bro. Can you even lift?
Is that your turn? Done? Done, dusted?
Yep.
Cool. We skip Milo's turn for this round. And the other dog also breaks off.
And skip Wild Dog 1's turn for this round.
Howls and runs up to Dagrin. Attempts to bite him, but Dagrin smashes him in the head with the shield and says, "That javelin was for you, you prick!" I ad-libbed with your character, I'm sorry.
That sounds about what I'd say, so.
Divan, it is now your first turn in combat. I will put you onto the screen. There you are. And Milo, you also show up this round. Hello.
Okay, sweet, cool. Okay, just give me a second. Let me see what I can do. Okay, cool. So basically, I'm just gonna walk up, and as I walk up, you see from the cloak that I wear, a book drops off out of my sleeve, and it starts to levitate, for it's chained to my right arm. And as my book levitates, which is my grimoire, anyway, it flickers open, and I cast magic missiles.
All right.
Yep, and I'm magic missiles. There's no roll for it, right? You just roll for damage.
Yes. Yep. It
Okay,
instantly
cool.
hits. Where are you going to move up to? Do you want to just drag where you'd like to move?
Sure.
Or as far as you'd
Okay,
like
let
to
me just
move?
do that first.
Yep.
Okay, shall I do that before I roll? Okay, cool.
Just as
And-
long as you're not walking past something, it doesn't matter. That's all.
Oh, okay.
I think
So it
you
doesn't
have
matter.
to.
What is the range on magic missiles?
Way
Oh,
more. than
okay,
a
120
control area.
feet?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stay there then.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna move much. Alright, cool. So I'm just gonna roll for magic missile.
You have to select your 3 targets first as well.
Oh, do I? Okay, select my 3 targets.
Yeah.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool,
you
cool.
Target
control
all-
click.
You can target all 3 to the same thing, or you can target 2 things to one and 1 to another, or 1 to 3.
Yeah, so how would I target 2 things to 1?
So you would just fire
Double
one.
target it?
Yeah. No, not double target. That'll just untarget it. If you want to hit something more than once, and then
Yep.
hit two things, just fire at the one thing first, and then target two things, and then fire once more.
Okay. Got it. Cool.
So if you want two to go to the alpha, fire once now, then target the alpha and something else, and then fire again just once, and it'll fire all three.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Okay, give me 1 second, yeah? Okay, cool. Completely understood.
Awesome.
Cool, so 1d4 at the alpha. Coming right up.
Yep. And then target the alpha and something else.
Okay, cool.
Oh, you've just let go of the
Oh,
alpha.
yeah,
Hang on.
okay.
There
Okay.
you go, fixed it.
And then he unfix it. And then it's fixing it.
Okay. Alright, okay, cool. Okay, let us roll for damage. Cool.
Alright. And you let the 3 bolts shoot from your fingertips, and one of them shoots off to a wild dog, and it howls and yelps as it's smashed into with the energy. And then the alpha takes 2 of them. What?
Question.
Yes?
Is it supposed to be individual damage rolls for each of them? Because I noticed that last damage roll done a 5 for both. It just rolled 1 dice and damaged that much to both. Or should it be 3 individual dice?
Probably 3 individual, but just with the way the multi-targeting works, it just does it all at one. And I do it for all spells, so I just leave it as multi-targeting.
Okay.
It's multi-targets with the same.
Okay.
Fair enough. Cool. Okay, and that is the end of my turn.
Sweet. The alpha at this point is limping and heavily wounded as this magic and weapon tirade has wrecked its body. But it manages to leap forwards, lean its head down, and attempts to bite Dagon.
Chew on my shield.
But in its half-wounded and weakened state, it doesn't manage to latch on with any great effect. And it is now Theron's turn.
Okay, I will once again fire out an Eldritch Blast and hopefully take it down.
Alrighty.
I'll say, protect the child, pointing with my hand to Wild Dog 8 over there.
You critically fail. And in your movement, you twist, and your ankle folds in from underneath you, and your movement is halved until you take a short rest.
Jeez.
I'll use that movement to hobble away as... where the hell can I hobble to, actually?
Probably pretty safe where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably... Yeah, I think I will stay where I am and hang my head in shame.
Sit down.
Alright.
Good plan.
Okie doke. So, the wild dog that's locked in combat with Din Wiesel savagely bites at him, critically hits, kills him in one
fuck.
blow.
Gosh, shit.
Nearly 9 damage. He tears
Holy
into
crap.
your unprotected side and rips a large swathe of flesh away,
Ow.
howling in gleeful bloodlust. Seeing the blood spilled and not having any luck killing the boy, the dog at the back begins to run towards the group.
Just like old times.
Just like old times. Snaps at Dagon, critically fails, and manages to expose itself, and you get a free opportunity attack, Dagon.
Woo!
This does not use a reaction.
Oh, I don't have my sword drawn yet, so I get to punch him in the head, I guess.
Punch away.
Can I bash him with my shield?
Sure, use a improvised weapon. So just do a normal hit, and then roll 1d4 plus your strength.
Right. Boom.
You
Oh!
critically hit. Okay, let me just roll on the table.
What's with all these crits and fumbles and oh my
ring it.
god?
So in addition to the damage, you'll paralyze it. So if you don't kill it, you'll have crushed its spine and paralyzed the creature.
It's all 4. The last 4
You said
rolls have been.
a D4, you said?
Yeah, D4 plus your strength.
Oh.
So you do 6 damage, and you just shove the shield so hard down on its head, its skull just crumples into its body, and it shortens by half a foot, and it drops
Wouldn't
dead.
he roll another dice for the crit as well?
Yeah, but it's already dead.
Oh, it does. Okay, good.
So it dies.
Overkill.
Yeah.
Alright. Cool.
So if
Who
it had
needs a
lived,
sword? I'm
didn't.
gonna get 2 shields.
Didn't even have-
Yeah,
That's
4
cool.
AC and just smash everything with the shield. Okay.
So is this my turn to critically miss, I guess, considering
Yep.
it's the cool I Seek Redemption.
You critically
Oh,
hit.
okay.
Oh!
Instead I'll-
Redemption.
Damn.
So, yep, roll your damage.
What's all those dice flying around in the background? Is that it
the
automatically
crit
does
table, yeah.
fumble?
It does
Oh,
the
nice.
crit table roll, yeah. So it does one initial roll, which is a D6, and on a 3, 4, 5, and 6, it'll do an additional effect, and then it rolls a D20. And it sees there. So you just destroy it as well. You redeem yourself by slaughtering this creature in a flurry of blades.
Ah, Madeline! Thank you.
A monk with a rapier makes sense.
He's not a
I'm not a monk. I'm a witch
Oh.
hunter, fool.
The witch hunter.
Oh shit, that's right. Who isn't someone a monk?
Milo is.
Yeah.
He just only came into combat this round, which looks like too late. So Dagran's turn.
All right. I'll draw my sword and attack the wolf, the normal wolf in front of me.
Yep.
I'll let someone else handle my light work. You know, the big ass wolf who's almost dead.
All right.
Begone, foul creature!
You swing your battle axe and it connects with the dog, and you cleave its head from its shoulders, and a fountain of blood arcs up through the air, and its body slumps to the floor, and its head drops neatly next to it, leaving Milo Tree to finish off the foul beastie.
All right.
Milo
Hey,
Tree?
just
Milo
enough
Under
movement.
Tree. I missed out a key word.
Yeah. Milo can't climb the tree. He is too short.
I'm just going to move you to the
Means
square. Grumpy Grump.
under it.
Alright. So
Yeah,
you move
don't
up.
upset him.
Sweet jukes.
And you unarmed attack nothing. So you hit it,
Wow, +7 to hit. Nice.
and you wreck its face. You just punch it square in the nose, it yelps, and then like the 5-palm exploding heart move, it just drops dead after a
Kill Bill. Yes.
Kill Bill. Oh yeah, 5-point palm.
How good of you
heart
to
technique.
join us, Milo.
Oh, yeah.
You only do a D4 starting off? That's kind of...
But like +5, man.
Yeah.
Got 20 dex, so that's alright.
Yeah, if he used a weapon like a rapier to get a 1d8 and then the +5 still.
Do you get weapons as
Ow.
Link?
I
like-
do. I have a quarterstaff,
One-handed,
but
right?
I figured I was running that whole time. I
You
was
get like some
too
certain
tired to bring it
simple
out.
things,
Fair
so...
enough. Plus, who needs a staff when you can run in and punch a dog to death?
exactly.
Works.
All right. So with the final large dog slumping to the ground, the man who is protecting the child limps over to you and says, "Wow, you guys sure showed up the nick of time." And he looks at his arm that's bleeding and ragged and torn. He says, "I don't suppose any of you spare a potion or even just a bandage. Feeling a bit lightheaded."
Ah, yes, come, friend. Come hither, friend, for I have some medicinal skills.
Come hither.
And so I kind of like, yeah, and so I just bandaged them up.
All right. Roll a medicine.
Oh, okay, cool.
Guy's bleeding.
Oh,
out.
man. No. Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
his arm falls off. Good work.
He dies. So does the child.
What was
You
a flesh
ease his
wound,
pain and
you
suffering
managed
with
to
a
turn into
click.
a morbid wound.
He turns into a zombie.
Awesome. So you bandage him up, and it does well. And he's like, "Oh, thanks. It's a mighty fine bandage you done there. I appreciate it."
Is he more worse injured than Din Wiesel or Theron there?
He's
Theron?
probably he was a bit wounded. He's probably not quite as hardy as the other two. The other two are sort of just shrugging off their wounds. Like Din Wiesel's 10 out of 13, but he's fucking alright. He's alright.
What about the kid?
The kid's fine. The kid was protected by the man.
Alright. Well, I'll give 1 to everyone and 2 to Din Wiesel.
Oh.
My mum used to say that I became a fighter and a scrapper and a tough guy to protect who I am at my core.
You just have like a bunch of quotes written down.
They're not Vin Diesel quotes.
Aren't they your background quotes?
Nope, they are Vin Diesel quotes.
Oh. All right. Fantastic. Learning from the
Nice.
best, I see.
Yep. You can have any brew you want, as long as it's a Corona.
Oh, God. At least keep it themed, man.
I haven't mentioned any cars yet, it's okay.
You owe me a 10-second
Ride or
cart.
die.
Oh, I'm so gonna replace car with cart every time.
Oh, God. All right, so you heal up a few people, and do you give one to the guy, the elf?
Yeah,
elf
1
elf?
to the guy, 1 to Aaron or Aaron, whatever, and then 1 to Din.
Okay, cool. All right. Wait, you said 2 to do, didn't you?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Cool.
I checked off all 5, so.
Yeah, I was just making sure because I took 2 off him. All right, so the man thanks you for all of you stepping in. He says, yeah, I don't see how much longer I would have lasted with that many dogs, especially not after the big bastard came in here. But I appreciate it all the same. What brought you here? You don't look like farmers. Silence follows, and he
came
goes, "All right,
across-
I guess you're not farmers."
Oh, he's talking for the group. I have, like, really bad charisma. But I do like talking.
I've
I
taken,
can talk if you want.
I've taken a vow of silence. Now.
From now on,
We came to find the child. We were sent by... What's that lady's name?
B.
B.
May.
B.
he
We were
shrugs and
sent by
says,
B.
"I have no idea who that is. All I found was this boy beset upon the pack of dogs that I was tracking. Couldn't
So what
rightly
were you
let a
doing
child
here?
die. I was
Tell
tracking
me,
those
friend,
dogs.
why do you track these dogs?
I'm here on behalf of the Emerald Enclave." And he
What's
points
that?
to a little stag symbol on his armor, and he says, "It's a guild, not far from here, a little bit to the west. That's where we're based. We're investigating strange animals and strange rumors of beasties that are magically enhanced, or in this case, magically turned evil." And he points to the massive beast and says, "That is no natural dog."
Well, speaking of unnatural beasts...
Right, exactly, man, exactly.
I saw a red goat today with 2 heads that bit my finger. Look at my finger. It's been bitten.
And as you hold up your finger, you notice at this point that there is a large purple line running down your finger, almost to the palm of your hand, where the bite
Goat
was.
poison. The deadliest poison.
It appears that I am poisoned.
The man says,
Goat
"Oh, that
venom.
is some foul ailment you've got there, my boy. Where
Do you know
did
anything
you see
about
these
it?
goats?"
In a barn.
And he pulls out his notepad and he says, "Yes, tell me more, tell me more." And he begins writing down everything you're saying.
Well, there's a big goat, and it gave birth to another big goat, and 5 other goats. Was that right?
Yep.
6?
Yep, 6 goats.
Yes. Yep.
And then it bit me.
I know you said your charisma was low, but how about your intelligence?
My intelligence is 10.
Well, that's as high as you can count, so 6 is within that.
Yes.
So he writes
Soon
this
I'm
down
only going
and
to
he
be able
goes,
to count
"Oh,
to 9.
I better get this information back to my people. Here, you take the boy, get him back to his family. I'm sure they'll be worried for him, and I'll
Wait.
be on my way."
Wait,
What do you mean, wait?
Hold on,
Yeah.
traveler.
do you have some tonic or some look at my finger.
He says,
I'm poisoned.
Looks like deep rot to me. Nothing I can do about
Friend.
it.
Friend, I believe you might need to chop it off. Would this be your middle finger, friend?
But then I'll only be able to count to 9.
He says, you can chop it off, but I don't think that's going to stop it. Anyway, I must be off. Here, have this for the rest of you for helping me out. And he passes you a little pouch, and inside you find 3 potions of healing.
Advice? What do I do? Deep rot, what do I do?
You
finger
just
has
as he's
the-
about to leave. Yeah. As he's about to leave, I say, "Hold on, friend. Is there one in your guild who's experienced in the manner of these magical creatures?"
He says, no one that I know of, but it's not like I can bring you back to our guild place without anyone asking some strange questions, so I'm afraid there's nothing I can do to help you if you're not part of the
Like how we
Emerald
saved your life?
He shrugs and says, I appreciate it, but there's nothing I can do. Unless you were to join the Emerald Enclave. But even then, I don't know if there's much that we could do to help.
Thanks for saving my life. Also, you're dead.
Yeah, thanks for saving my life. Sorry I couldn't pass it on. At this point, we're going to take a 10-minute break. And we'll come back after a quick bio and be here at 22 the hour.